All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever you are in the world. To start with, can you please just give me a sound check and that you are able to hear me loud and clear? And if the screen is also, it's a still screen on your screen. So let me know if you can hear me well so we can proceed. All right, that's really good. We will start in just a few minutes. All right. Um, this is the beginning of it. The screen now, you should be able to see my screen. It's not my screen, it's like the broadcasting screen. So if you can hear me now and you can see the screen in full, please let me know so we can actually start. All right, that's pretty good. So welcome to another session, another live trading session of FBS.com. And first of all, whoever, 1 second, sorry. Yeah. Last week we had a session, but unfortunately on non-farm payroll, but unfortunately 3 of our trades came down against us, and that's against how we wanted to be. But at the same time, hopefully this week we will recover from these um, from the losses. But luckily, all the three trades were just minimal loss, probably an average of 17 pips of loss. But anyway, we should proceed first with the dollar index first. And if you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments, and I will um read them one by one, like when I'm done with my charts first. And I will be answering all of your questions today. And to start with, let's just go and have a look, take a quick look on all the major markets. First of all, let's have a look at majors. Majors today, dollar index is down just a little bit, about 0.4%. The euro, it's still up, but it's 0.5% today. I mean, uh, is actually up today. We have also the British pound is up by 0.25%. We have yen is higher today across the board. So we shall see. And then we have the Swiss franc. Like, there's kind of a good volatility today in the markets, but at the same time, we have a few economic releases, which means that we will be turning into markets most likely will be like very good for technical analysis today. So that's the currencies in general. Dollar is down across the board, minus the yen. So let's have a look also at some of the other market metals. Today we're also seeing more and more upside in gold, which I don't think so it's going to last for a long time. Silver is the same, 1.2% today. Palladium is the only one down, and platinum is also one by almost 1.2% for the time being. And again, as I said, I'm going to answer all your questions. We're not going to leave the stream until all of your questions are actually answered. So if you posted a question that I didn't answer yet, so just give it a little bit of time, and then we will actually answer all your questions. So, U.S. futures today also showing some weakness after yesterday's rally. Yesterday's we saw like a huge rally in the U.S. equities once again, due to all the talks about the stimulus packages, and it's gonna come very soon in the states, and that's currently is the closing of yesterday's indices. We closed almost at record high, 31,385. S&P also 3,915. Nasdaq is the also composite index is the best out of all the indices. 1 second. All right. So, and finally, let's have a look also at crude oil today. It is also now kind of an unchanged. Brent was up today, big time, almost at 61.20, and then we're down to 60, and also West Texas just only 0.2% decline so far. So let's go back again to our original chart, and let's have a look at the dollar index. All right, so the first thing that I would like to talk about is basically the dollar index that made last week we had an inverted head and shoulder on the daily chart, and we broke even the neckline. Let's take these off. First of all, these are old ones. We don't need to look at them right now, but we need to look at this area here, including the 50-day moving average and also the head and shoulder formation, the inverted one, which is supposed to be positive for the US dollar today. But of course, unfortunately, because of the US jobs report on Friday, which came in with negative data across the board, minus the unemployment rate, we saw some sort of a correction. For me, yes, this might actually be a correction. Minus, there's also a little bit of kind of concern here, and that's why I would like to see today a close above those two lines. The first one is the short-term trend line, and at the same time, the neckline from the head and shoulder, or the inverted head and shoulder pattern. So that's on just very short, like on the daily chart. So still, so far, as long as we're above the 50-day moving average, I'm not really concerned about more declines in the dollar. So I would still be looking to buy the dollar on dips, including this dip today. That's why actually the timing of our session might be actually really good today. So we might be going with the euro and others. So if we also look at the latest rally, I guess would be the 50%, but let's have a look at it. Like the first rally, when it started, when 25th of January, or the recent one. The recent one. And if there will be any trades, it's going to be on the screen, and I'm going to also say it on voice. So let's take these off also, old one. So 25th of January. I mean, let's do it on a 1-hour chart. That will be a little bit better, I guess. So 25th of January, that's the last, or the recent rally. That's the the right shoulder. So if we took like if you take a Fibonacci all the way from um, the low to the highs, we are actually within the area of the 50 and the 60. The 50 did not actually show that much of a big deal, nor the 60 so far, which makes me wonder if we are actually in the right cycle, but I'm not actually sure because even if we extend this one, we might still have a little bit more room to go to around maybe uh, 9040, 9050s, but it's still within the same area, whether from this cycle or the previous one, we are still within the same correction area. So with that being said, I think we might actually see a bounce back once again, especially that the RSI indicator is also done. Let's take these off. The dollar index so far is still holding the RSI over the trend. That's number one on the RSI indicator, and also we're still around um, the 50 key level um, for the RSI. So that's two things I need to keep an eye on today. And again, like I think the timing of our session is actually really good. So moving ahead to the euro, the euro had like a different, not different, but it's almost the same thing. So we had head and shoulder also pattern on the daily chart, but at the same time, we broke the neckline a few days ago, at least yesterday, and tried yesterday and today, and it's kind of overextended to me right now, even though that also um, the same area or the same move that happened in the US dollar is actually happened to the euro. So we're just going to keep an eye and see if, uh, well, yeah, that's the one, not the right cycle. That would might be the right one. So we are also um, within a supply zone after what we saw over the past month. Let's have a look at one. The 1 hour is also still the same. And the 1 hour we are also still the same. So that makes me wonder again, like either whether the first cycle is right or the second cycle is right, but both on the 1 hour chart is still showing that we are um, in a correction mode. I don't think so that this correction mode will last for long, especially even from these levels here after, especially from this level. So one of the most um, trades that I will be interested in today, actually the euro, but our stop might be a little bit higher or a little bit extended. So I'm going to start with shorting the euro at the current levels here at 21. I mean, I don't care where the market's going to go anyway, but this is overextended to me, and I need to see a correction. So to start with, or start the day with, we will start with shorting the euro again, 10,121, sell by market, and I'm going to post it on the screen as well. Okay, let me just post it on the screen first. First trade. Short. Market. I got it at 2101. Stop loss. Where am I going to put my stop today? Cannot let it run for the 50, so 2150. That would be the initial stop loss 2150. Oh, sorry. That would be my stop for today. Start with. All right. Here's the yellow breaking news. Here's the trade alert, and I'm going to post it also on the right side and see what we can do. Active signals. So you 2101. All right, that's the first trade for now. Watching here from the Philippines. You're welcome from the Philippines. Where are you guys all coming from, by the way? So that's our first trade. I'm going to be with the euro for the time being and see where we can go from here. So that's the first one. Also, another thing that I'm actually very interested in is basically gold. One of the most important trades that I'm actually interested in is basically gold. Right now, we're very, very, very extended. That's number one. Number two, on the daily chart, if you look at it, let's have a look. So last week, there was an attempt to break lower. And we broke this kind of like small triangle, but at the same time, we bounced off or bounced back all the way above like 1840 so far. But I don't think so. This will continue for a long time for a very important reason, which is USGG 10-year. Sorry, um, the US 10-year yields, which is always negative for gold when the yields goes up, gold goes down, and vice versa. So a few days ago, we just topped the 1.20, and gold right now is kind of like just hovering around the same area. That's why, because I think it's also overextended. That would be another thing to look at. That's the 50 on the long run. So I'll be more interested in shorting for so many reasons. One of them is this one. Yeah, there you go. So between 1830 and 1854, that's the area where I'm interested to short or to sell gold. But I'm gonna just wait maybe until the beginning of the US session to see what and where are we gonna do. So, oh, we have Dubai, South Africa, Zambia, and South Africa too. You guys are all welcome. All right. Yeah, so that's another thing that I'm going to keep an eye on during or at the beginning of the US session for now. The British pound, also another currency, because of the recent rally that we saw in the British pound today, just today, it is kind of able to break above that area. But so far, I would still like to wait because I'm not sure if the British pound will be able actually to hold its grounds like all the way up here. So I would be still interested to short the British pound, but I'll be interested also to wait until the US session, which starts at like 6:30, 2 hours from now. But that's one thing I'm gonna keep an eye in the next on the next few hours. So we have the euro. We'll keep an eye on. We'll keep an eye on gold because another thing about gold, we are nearing the 200-day moving average on the daily chart. Which is around 54. I guess that's 54. It's too much to handle. But anyway. Dubai Marina. Yeah. Hamad Abdullah, ahla wa sahlan. When the candlesticks is shooting up bullish and then you put a buy trade. After putting that trade, the candlesticks immediately turns back down. Why is that and how do I tackle this? Well, I'll tell you something. Your problem is the problem of like 90% of traders. Retail traders are always, unfortunately, but this is true, are always late to the party. Always late to the party. Meaning, they would wait for something to go up, and after it goes up, retail trader starts to think about, oh yeah, let's buy it. I mean, it can go just a little bit more up. That's one of the most important thing. But while if you think about it, I mean, I would love to short on bullish trends. or on when I see like some shooting, just like the euro today, just like British pound as well, just like gold today, the same. I would not be interested to buy any of the three today, at least, because it is already up. Like, look at gold today; it's already up $12. Why would I be interested to buy if it's already up $12? I would have bought before at the beginning of the day or on Friday, even though on Friday I took a hit in gold with a stop loss. Hong Kong, you're welcome. So that's one of the most important things. Like, don't chase the moves. If you're late to the party, you're late to the party. Look for something else. But do not just chase the move because you think, oh, it's been going up for the past week. I think it might continue for the next week. It doesn't work that way. All right, so that's another thing. Let's see X8. Silver is not that interesting because we're still trading within the same range. And after all what happened with GME and the Redditors and they're saying they're gonna send silver to 1,000. I don't think so. This is gonna happen any moment or anytime soon. But I think also silver might be another opportunity to short. Um, that might be a possibility today. And if we look from the last move that happened over the past 2 weeks, I would still use Fibonacci and wait. So we didn't get to 28, but we got to 38.2 and then started trending lower. So now I'll be interested again to see where this trend might actually end. Um, I think it might, at some point it might actually end today or tomorrow. Okay, let's read some. So for the time being, there's only one, which is the euro 121.01. Um, all the way from Nigeria. You're welcome. So that's another thing to keep an eye on. Let's look at the Japanese yen. Oh, look at that. Japanese yen kept on just pressing higher and higher and higher over the past few weeks. And then it just tested the 200-day moving average on Friday and then dropped back, which is very impressive, kind of, if you look at it on a longer term, how the Japanese yen dealt with the 200-day moving average multiple times. Here's one of them. Even though that overshooting it and then it dumps back down. But let's see, for today on the daily, it is still positive, 100%. Is 1, 2. Let's see, where can we actually buy this thing? Or might be here. Straight from South Africa. Let's look here. Yeah, if this was the last move of the yen, that would be the first level to keep an eye on also during this session. But anyway. Okay. Do we have today? Swiss franc, I don't really like it that much. Let's do Aussie. Okay, Malaysia, welcome. Okay, so another thing is let's take this off. We'll go back to it. The Aussie was already like in a very bullish trend or a very bullish channel on the daily chart, and then started kind of flagging in here, and but out of the out of the channel, creating another channel sideways with a flag. The question is here, if it breaks out above that 77.80 or something, yeah, that might be actually bullish. Otherwise, I think there will be another opportunity to short once again. We have from South Africa, Johannesburg. We have Olay, South Africa, Bethlehem. Let's have a look. Oh, I'll just keep it not much. Uh, let's have a look at the Kiwi. But I'll keep an eye on New Zealand dollar for now. Also, Kiwi's overextended. 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 I would definitely be thinking about shorting this one, but the question is where? I don't know. Which is one of them here. That's actually a possibility. But just a stop over the high today. Philippines. All right. Thank you all for coming. All right. So we ended up with only one trade so far, which is the euro. So I'm going to keep it on the screen. Mm-hmm. Take the dollar. Yeah. Okay. Let's go to for some questions. How can I best incorporate the financial news, candlesticks, pattern channel charts into my trading strategy? I find most times that by the time I'm receiving the news, the markets have already moved. Hmm. Well, that's interesting. The thing is about the news, I mean, one second. By the way, since we're talking about also stocks, whatever, is any one of you was a victim of the GME move, the GME stock? Since we're talking about GME in general. Well, I mean, yeah, maybe because it was like $26, and now it's just 5. Well, here's the thing. I'm gonna leave GME on the chart, on the right chart, just for the time being. You guys can see it if it's fitting. So, um, about your question, it is always about the general outlook of the market first. It's not about just the news, and the news usually comes to move the market within its direction or within its trends. So, at the same time, I still highly advised everyone, to go and read about what happened during 2007, 2008, and 2009 financial crisis and compare it to what is actually happening right now, including central banks' decisions, because it is very, very, very similar. If you want to understand why the market is actually so wild these days and how the recovery actually ended up that big, at least in the States, I highly advise you like to read about what happened during the financial crisis. It was insane. Anyway, let's see where's GME and pre-market is actually also keeps pushing for. But for the time being, we only have one trade, which is the euro, and we're gonna keep it on for the time being. Still trying to look for something else, but I don't see any much of interest. Um, there is an office in Dubai, yes, for FBS. And I guess today is, oh, not today. Next week is, or tomorrow is FBS birthdays. 12 years in the business. Yep, that's the one. Go ahead. I guess because of COVID, also, it is still like very limited visiting there, but you can still. I mean, I haven't been there for a long time. I'm located in Abu Dhabi, but I haven't been there for a long time too. Right, so we don't actually have that much. Can you please help me with an entry strategy? Well, I mean, my perfect entry strategy is always Fibonacci. Fibonacci is your friend, whether you're trading stocks or you're trading forex. I mean, with stocks, Fibonacci definitely works better, but still, Fibonacci works in every on every chart. Um, so let's have a look here of, or let's say, where do we go? Let's go. I don't know where to go. Dollar index one more time. You welcome, Muts Walid. Nicholas, you're welcome. All right. I mean, now it's kind of like a little bit, I mean, dry, but let's also have a look for some process. But yeah, about your question, Fibonacci is always the best when it comes. I mean, to me at least, when it comes to entries, are always the best. Um, let's have a look where to. Let's do, or even the euro, or uh, even the euro. Let's take. Well, let's have a look at the Canadian also because it's also interesting. Oh, that's actually really good. Here we go. We're actually in an entry level or an entry area for Fibonacci. There's oil already, Tom. No, we don't manage accounts. No, we do not manage accounts. Oh, ZYN. It's going. Let's go back to Pro because to talk about it. Okay. So, about the euro and why I took this trade, because we are, first of all, we're too extended from the lows that we saw back in 5th of February, and it kept going up and up, and then again on Friday, kept going, and today, Monday, yesterday, it just kept going without any kind of retracement. That's number one. Number two, we are already, and why did I use this area? From whenever you are in a trend or a correction or whatever, use three levels to enter your trade, not only one. You have to use three levels. And when you enter a trade, you don't just enter all of your risk in one place. Meaning, I would start with 120, 70, 71. I would take, like, let's say one mini. The second one would be my average at 120. 99, which is a 61.8 Fibonacci, and the third one will be the last one, which is 2135. That's how you minimize your risk. You don't expand your risk, okay? But you would expand your risk if you actually sold here, let's say like 100,000, and then it goes all the way back up, and then you would add more. So the more you go little, it adds up by the time. People think that, okay, well, I want to make 1 million today. Well, it is possible, but that's gambling. That's not trading. So one of the most important things that you need to understand first is the general outlook of the currency. But I mean, are we in a correction or we're not? If that so, I would always love to enter using these three levels for Fibonacci: 50, 61, and 67. Those are my three entries. And my stop would always be right above the 76.4, just a little bit, not too much. Just a little bit, not too much. And at the same time, like my target would be the reverse of it, meaning if we already started like declining from here today, my first target would be on 2034, and then the second target would be 12015. This is when I would close the majority of my trades. So always keep Fibonacci as your entry point. That would be the best. Okay, let's go Dow Jones index. Uh, has been on the same position. Do you think it's gonna be like? I don't think so. I mean, it's gonna be uh, all day. I guess we will. We're kind of like reaching that time where we need some sort of a retracement or a correction. The correction might not actually happen today. It might happen like in the next few days. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here's another thing. So 6 days in a row, Dow Jones is going up. Do you think it is a good idea to buy it? Enjoying from Nigeria. You're welcome. Do you think it's a very good idea actually to buy Dow Jones right now? Okay, great. No. Yeah. Always, I mean, at the end of the day, um, no matter how much your experience or no matter how long you actually traded, you will end up figuring out there like a one or two, maybe three setups maximum that you will actually recognize each time do you look at any chart. And this is the key for trading. Like you don't need to keep looking for I mean, in technical analysis, you have zillion amount of patterns or formations or whatever. But the question is, which ones are actually the best? And if you keep looking at different formation, you might, I mean, you will end up with like confused and you will have to follow a lot of charts and stuff. And I guess that's too much to handle. But if you actually just look for one or two setups that always works, it will always work over and over and over, whether in stocks or with currencies or whatever. And I like at the same time, like recently, stocks is much better than currencies recently because of the volatility and all the volume that we're getting almost on a daily basis. So yeah, so you will end up at the end, you will end up with two or three patterns that you recognize each time that you look at the chart. I like triangles most of the time. Uh, I like the continuation of the triangles most of the time. And at the same time, if you look at, I mean, Dow Jones, for instance, it's like a ladder, like starting the day higher and then just trades within a tight range, starting the day higher and then it's just the same over and over and over, and it just keeps repeating. Downside is the same thing, but if you look at let's say let's go back to the euro again. So it is also the same. It is a ladder, and it tries to break higher, tries to, but at the same time, I mean, if you look at it, it's not that big of a momentum, but it is also extended, overextended to me. How many days we've been up so far in the euro? Like 3 days in a row, and that's also at the same time. If you look at it, it was been going down for 1, 2, 3, 4, so 4 days in a row, and then 3 days in a row up. Would I actually buy this one here? Definitely no. I would be interested in shorting more than buying. As for patterns, yes, I like the head and shoulder pattern because most of the time it works. I like triangles in most likely in the stock market. Let's say a few V US equity, maybe that's one thing. Have a look at this pattern. So that was just back in November, and it is just a clear. So we saw the breakout, yes, and it started trending lower, or like just if you look at it, it's just like a cup and handle too. So you have two patterns at the same time, but that's what I'm saying here. You have it. That's the triangle, and at the same time, if you want to think about it, and another pattern, which is there you go. So that's this one, and then you can add another one, which is the curve. But have a look here on how this actually extended all the way. So your entry would be at the break, but the stop should be very tight. Even though, if you look at the percentages, I mean, it went here. The breakout was what, from 1070 all the way to 17 and all the way to 20, and then it went all the way back down to 11. So if you look at Fibonacci at the same time, you're going to be end up with the 50 or 60. That's where you buy. And then look at it. Yesterday we were all the way at 35. The same thing for currencies. But imagine if you bought like just 100 shares here, 100 shares, which is going to cost you what? $1,100. Today they are 3 times, 300% higher. Well, it all depends on the volume, or it all depends on the chart itself. If it's going to be also this, especially this candle. So let's say here, this one. So again, breakout, kind of consolidation for like weeks, and another consolidation, and then here we're testing, and then we had this candle like up higher with volume. This is when I say, okay, that's a possibility, and my stop would be just underneath the previous low, and it kept going higher, which I mean kept going higher at the same time, like higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, and all the way up. The same thing goes to currencies. Same things goes to gold. Let's have a look at gold. Maybe we will actually short it before the beginning of the US session. Yeah, same thing. Same thing applies to gold. Gold. Everybody's starting like buying gold after the move. After the move. While gold was just a year ago, it was like 1100. People started talking about gold when it was over 2000, and look what happened. It stopped rising. Same as bitcoins or any other asset that you can look at it on the chart. Retail is always like normal people are always um, late to the party because they chase the move. So now the euro is below 120, which is good. Let's go back. I'm gonna just leave something here. Okay. Here's our entry. All right, 102. Sounds good. And I'm just gonna keep the Fibonacci also around the same area. Yep. Oh, sorry. This one. Take the bigger one, which is here. Yeah. Who took the euro trade with us, by the way? Also, let's say what we have. What else? Sterling yen, maybe. Okay, great. Let's see sterling yen daily. Yeah, that was another rising wedge that did not actually work. I don't like this that much. Because I mean it gets tighter and tighter and then a breakout and then retest and now just another correction. I don't like this that much, to be honest, but let's have a look at Euro JPY. Charles joining from Dubai. You welcome, neighbor. Okay, let's take that off. Uh, yeah, like have a look at this one too. The Euro yen. So This is just another typical supply zone, little triangle. See, where does it go back from? Yeah. So here's the one that actually goes back all the way from when? From 2019. If you want to consider it as a head and shoulder, it's possible. Not so good. Not so much, because it's too much to hold it for. I'm so glad that you're enjoying the session. Yeah, so that would be another thing in currencies. But again, I like stocks and currencies at the same time. Let's have a look at some stocks. Tesla, okay? It is available at FBS too, if you don't want to use it. All right. That's after the split. But have a look at the triangle here. It is the same thing. It keeps going tighter and tighter and tighter, and then the explosion. Either from here, or you can take it higher ones, this is more interesting. There we go. You have it here. No, not this one. Sorry. It keeps getting tighter and tighter and tighter, and then whenever you see such breakouts, it goes like it start running, and you won't be able to hold it. Now, even now, I mean, if you look at it now, these days, here's Tesla, okay? Just this one. It's getting, I wouldn't say tighter, but here you have those two levels that you need to keep an eye on. Yes, it's huge range, but still, whenever you see such breakout, it start running. I short sell British pound now. I was actually thinking about that. Let's look at Apple, or yeah. Let's take these. And now look at this one, Apple. Apple is about to explode, actually. Let's look at NVDA, US equity. Look at NVIDIA yesterday. So, trading within the same tight range or same range, whatever. Okay. And then yesterday, you end up with a huge candle all the way to the upside. I would be interested to see how this is going to start trading today. Somewhere around 550, 560s. I'll be interested to buy it again. As I said, at the end of the day, you will end up, and if you, I mean, one of the things that I always do, and I always advise everybody to do, everybody has the OneNote, right? Not now. Let's do open books. Where's the other one? Like, there you go. Like, have a look at this one. So, always keep log of your trades, whether the old ones or the new ones or whatever, because it will help you correct yourself later. So that's a stock. It's called FUV. Okay, and this was back in 11th of January. Okay, 11th of January. And have a look like how it's very, very, very interesting. Okay, so that's why I keep the log for my trades. So triangle on the 7th, break attempt on the 8th, successful break on the 11th. We'll wait for a pullback to enter. Okay, the pullback was like around 15. If you go look now at FUV, US equity, okay, it's the one that we talked about. Let's have a look at something else. Let's do, okay, CLNE. That was back in January 8th. Same thing. Let's look at AQB. Okay, AQB, January 8th. Multiple upgrades on the 6th, 7th, whatever. Trading within triangle since December. 7th of January, right, with higher volume. Always keep that, because if, that was AQB, right? US equity. Here's AQB. That's the triangle right here. And it kept going tighter and tighter and tighter, and then all the way from the breakout from 9 all the way to 13. Same thing goes with currencies. Log your trades, especially your losing ones, by the way. Especially losing ones, not the winning ones, the losing ones, because you'll go back to it and say, okay, what I've done wrong on this trade that I need to avoid it next time. Is it the pattern? Is it the volume? Is it a lot of things when it comes to trading? Okay, let's have a look. What else do we have? FUV Solo. I still remember that. Solo's still here, by the way. It is still working. Here's Solo, US equity. And again, that's not about just stocks. Keep an eye on this stock like for the next few days, because I believe this one is gonna explode higher soon. But again, the same thing. You have wait, let's see. Yeah. You have a triangle down here, and it kept going tighter and tighter and tighter, and then the breakout here. Another breakout all the way to 9, and then pull back, and it's holding. No, it's just the regular volume. So you mean it's just a regular volume. For currencies, by the way, there's the most important thing. For currencies, don't think about volume, please, because the volume on currencies is just the volume of the broker that you're using. It has nothing to do with the market volume on currencies, because we cannot see the volume of the currencies on a daily basis. For stocks, yes, go ahead, because the volume is the same. So keep the log for your trades, why this pattern works, why did the other one did not work, what have I done wrong, what can I do to improve it. It's, at some point you will just figure that out on your own, that okay, well, I need to be more patient when it comes to trading. I need to wait for the pattern to be completed before I enter any trade. And at the same time, there's a lot of people like always said, "Oh, I mean, I need to make this amount of money on a daily basis." It is, I mean, it doesn't work that way. And sometimes, like, well, I get some criticism from a lot of people saying, "Oh, like, why don't you just keep holding on your position for just for 100 pips or whatever?" In FX, I like to take 25, 30 pips from each trade. I would close the majority of my positions and then leave the rest to ride. And again, at some point, you will reach that level that, okay, I need just to take a break, look at my losing trades. What have I done wrong? And then you will realize that, okay, the best thing to do is to wait for your favorite setup to form. This is when you know that your trade is going to be in the right direction. Um, GBP AUD, repeat, please, cause I'm late. Okay, well, we did not look at Sterling Aussie, but we can look at Sterling Aussie. There you go. AUD. Well, first thing first, we are in. Oh wow, that's something. First thing first, 200-day moving average is, or 100-day moving average is still holding. That was kind of obvious that it shouldn't be just waiting here. Um, it's kind of in a tight range. At the same time, it is still over 50. I mean, it is still strong, but the question remains: will it be able actually to break higher today? That would be the question. Oh, I have CLOV, Waleed. Don't worry about that. Yeah, Aussie Sterling, I would actually wait because I'll be interested if this actually breaks today. I would definitely be interested to short. But I need to give it a little bit more time for confirmation at least. CLOV US equity. Oh, yeah, I'll be definitely. I'm so glad that it's still here. Okay, got kicked out of British pound yesterday, but thinking right now might be another good short entry. What do you think? Well, again, as I said, I mean, the British pound is still. I need to wait and see if actually the British pound will be able to hold here. Because again, have a look at the chart, okay? For the past, what? Since the beginning of the year until today, it's just a roller coaster. Going up 37, going down 35. Going up 37, going down 35. Up 37. So now what I would like to see if the British pound will be able to hold this area above all this until the end of the day. This is when we can say, okay, we're good to go. Otherwise, if it actually failed today, I would be shorting big sizes. Because again, it's been going up 1, 2, 3, 4. And if the fourth day did not actually like hold, I would be more than interested to short, and it's going to be Christmas tomorrow. What charts are you using? That's just a Bloomberg chart. You don't really need it in your trading anyway, but yeah. It would be much wiser to power scalp EU, being at that all massive pairs are currently in accumulation formation. I mean, that's still possible. I mean, again, um, for the euro, it is still for a day trade, not a long term trade. But we shall see where it goes today. And U.S. futures keeps pushing again lower. 66 for Dow Jones, S&P also around 7 points only, and Nasdaq is down by 15. It's not that big of a deal. Anyway, the market is now just trading within a sideways or a tight range ahead of the U.S. market open. So we shall see. But anyway, I'm gonna just keep the euro short for the time being, and hope for the best. If it's gonna stay, you are there. Let's see your sterling. That'll be interesting. Okay. Look at that. Look. What? I mean, that's also extended and started to going up again. So what might actually happen is that the British pound goes up and the euro goes down. Or, I'm not sure about that. But anyway, let's have a look at Paya US equity. I'm not sure if we have this in our system. But yeah, that's another. Gold, I'm still having gold under my radar for a short again. Uh, I'm thinking to short gold once again. Yeah, I'll be 100% interested in gold for a short. Let's see if it's going to be able to hold the 50 first. Then we can decide. Oh yeah, for the time being, I'm just going to stick with the euro. Nothing much really is going on. And it's US stocks pre-market. So that's another thing to keep an eye on. Yeah, that's correct. Last trading was a loss on the NFE. So hopefully we will recover this time. If you see two doji candles, bullish and bearish in the middle of a downtrend, you do. I mean, right now we're doing once a week. Once a week, we're doing the English one, and also once a week we're doing the Arabic. During the pandemic or last year, at the end of last year, we used to do like a daily live streaming. It was fun. But yeah, we have to stop it for a little bit until we just finish the rest of the system because we are thinking to open a Discord server for FES clients. So yeah, about the two dojis, I if you see two doji candles and a bullish and a bearish, I would actually be. I mean, I would stand aside because if it's one bullish and one bearish, I would just stand aside until the market actually. Um, uh, so the market until the market actually give me a better idea or hold. What's the word? A better signal. Yeah. And again, you need to be very disciplined. If I mean, Again, if I saw two dojis at the same time, one bullish and one bearish, I would just stand aside and wait. Again, I'd rather wait for the right setup or the best setup than just to try and figure out, oh, is this actually a good one? If it's not, yeah, so keep that in mind. Look at VG. Yeah, let's see. Okay, another example also, ALT. That's another pattern as well. Because back in December, oh, look at this. Or, I mean, whatever it is. All right. Arrow once was just about this one. About this. And I kept just, that's the first breakout, and then just trading within kind of range. And then a breakout of the previous high, breakout of the trend, breakout of the channel, and then another time where it actually just kept surfing the 100-day moving average, the 200-day moving average at the same time, and it actually finally took off. So you will end up with one or two setups that you will actually recognize anytime you look at the chart. Okay. I mean, you're a dollar 121.01, or we'll wait for. I mean, I'm already short on the euro, 12.01. I mean, that's a possible fake out, but at the same time, I'm just gonna. Yeah, I just actually saw that. I was not aware. Have a look at 1 hour. It might be a fake out. It might be a fake out. So we shall see. Um, Watching from the Philippines, 2 months to trade with 150% loss, 300% FPS record. Well, you better start thinking. You better start logging all your losing trades and see what you have done wrong and how to avoid it next time. Yeah, maybe you need to start thinking about it. If it's 150% loss, 300% FBS record, try to log your losing trades and see what you have done wrong. 150? Bullish flag on which daily, you mean? Cause of greedy attitude, lost, and forgot stop loss. Yeah, that's another one. At least you know. That's a good thing. Wow, look at GME getting smoked. We tend to greed because that's what. Oh, trust me, not only beginners. Everybody gets greedy. Even experienced guys do. So you're not alone. It looks short on the euro dollar. I mean, we are short. Hoping for a move at the beginning of the U.S. session. Anyway, it's 5:15 or 5:18 minutes here in Abu Dhabi, and we'll probably take a break soon so we can get back on the U.S. session or during the U.S. session. But we'll keep also gold under our radar for a short. That is actually a possibility today. U.S. futures keeps on extending lower. Right now, Dow Jones is 80 points lower, or set to open lower by 80 points. Yeah, so we should see. Because they have the ability to wait more than you do. To be honest, oh, I'm just having a look at pre-market movers if there's anything interesting. that we could be doing today. PT, nothing. Oh, actually, FTSE is not bad at all. HMHC, nothing much really. I recently lost $90 buy stop loss. Okay. But what, how do you mean buy stop loss? Oh, there's no algos. I mean, I just do it by hand. There's no algo trading here. It's just what I just decided to trade. You see. Also, here, another one. Look at PLTR. The recent IPO. Well, let's do daily. There we go. All right. Either this one or even you want to do this one too. And you will end up with same pattern. And it's from 28 to 45. That's 100%. So, read a little bit. I'm not familiar with the euro dollar. I'm prepared in. Okay. No worries. I mean, if you're prepared with Aussie. I mean, Aussie, I don't like it today much, but. I mean, I like to see a little bit maybe another push higher, somewhere around like 70, like 45 somewhere. I'll be more interested in short this one. Yeah. South Africa here. You're welcome. In US and GO and Jimmy. So have a look at this one also. The XRT. Just made a good buy on the British pound. Okay, no, great. Great, great, great. As long as it's a good buy. There you go. Same thing. You will end up with 2, 3 setups that you like, and you feel that they actually work the most, and you have to stick with it. All right. Here's the euro. Try it one more time, and then pump and dump again. Sorry. Or where is it? Oh, there you go. Anyway, I mean, not that big of a profit. It's just 5 pips, but I still need more. See where this is going to take us. My ELNC ran out. I mean, have a look at also. Yeah, have a look at this one. Daily. Start with. What do you think is going to happen to this one? Hi Islam. مبدئيا بدنا نحكي على 2050 على الأقل. على الأقل 2050 لأنه ستوبنا عالي برضو. Yeah, so that's the one to keep an eye on today. CHEK. Same thing, same pattern, same everything. So we shall see. Anyway, we'll get back to the euro one more time. Keep that 15-minute mark. Okay, 1 hour until the US. 1 hour until the US session starts. So hopefully we'll get some moves ahead. Canadian dollar also. That was interesting in the morning. Um, which is this script? Which script? I didn't get your point. What currencies are stronger this week? Um, this week so far. Let's have a look. Here we go. So, um, the euro is actually going in our favor, 120.91. As for the your question about um, which currencies are the strongest for this week, so far we have the Swiss franc is the strongest. The New Zealand dollar is the weakest. So that would be the one. What is the news on the euro? There's no news today on the euro so far, at least. GBP move up now. It's um, not yet. I mean, it's still the same levels, but the euro is going in our favor right now, so that's a good thing. So I'm gonna put back the chart and take a break for a little bit before we enter the U.S. session. Here's the euro. The Canadian dollar is like starting to move also higher, which is unfortunate. We didn't pick it up. All right, so I'm just gonna put this one here as the entry. Short 2101. Right, so that's the one. Okay, so that was a good entry actually. I mean, the where we actually entered wasn't that bad at all. So here's cheers to this one. Let's hope it continues. And the U.S. session. Aussie, Kiwi, everything actually start running again. But we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen in the U.S. session. All right, fine. We'll take kind of like maybe 45 minutes break, or I don't know. Shall we take a break? Or we just keep going? Yeah, well, I guess the trade is still ongoing, so we'll have to wait and see what happens at the beginning of the US session. Anyway, until then, I'm right here. If you have any questions, you can just leave it in the comments and I will reply to you right away. I mean, we do sessions every now and then, but like the same as sometimes we do like training sessions also on YouTube. If you want to check the YouTube channel of FBS, you'll find some training material. But we don't do them like regularly. But most of the time, it's just like an open session, just like this one. But the question about India, I'm not sure actually, but I'm definitely sure we we have clients from India. All right. Anyway, 45 minutes until the beginning of the US session. So we'll keep our trade open until then, and then we'll see what happens. Come on, Islam. Let him say whatever. Doesn't matter anymore. Trump is out, and that's it. All right, get ready. It's about 30 minutes left. We should see what we can do if we find any more plays. Gold is back up, 1846. Where is it? Metals. Is this a Trade View app? No, it's not an app. That's Bloomberg terminal, the one that you're saying. And the other is just a broadcasting system. I usually use just the 14 days on the daily chart. Is it possible crediting my FBS account in my office? That should be asked like through the website if you want to ask them. Um, but you can do it like through online. You don't need to go to the office. Gold, we're still watching it like for a short, possibly after the opening bell. I have three moving averages that I use them on a daily chart only, which is the 50, the 100, and the 200-day simple moving average. All right, are you guys still awake? We have less than 4 minutes to the U.S. Open. Our trade is still stuck at break even, nothing. Um, while gold also still stuck the same way. So we shall see in like just 4 minutes how the market will react at the beginning of the U.S. session, and then we'll decide what we will do. One minute. All right, here's the open. So let's start with U.S. equities, which basically is down at the beginning of the session, down to 30,000 or 31,296. Um, so that's a just a slight negative beginning of the session or beginning of the day in the States. The euro still the same, nothing really much happening. The big moves is happening actually in the Canadian dollar because of the oil that turned um, negative on the day, also for both West Texas and Brent. So for the time being, we will be just watching how the euro is going to react in the next few minutes, or maybe the next like 30 minutes or so. If there's no move from now until like another 30 minutes, I guess we're out of here. And then we'll see what happens in the next 2 days. If you have any questions, and I'm right here. So if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below, and I will actually answer you whenever you ask. But for now, we'll just leave everything as it is. Here's the British pound. Another attempt to break higher. Now 37.89 at the high, which doesn't make me feel much about the euro trade. Not really much, but it is still okay. Let's see what happens. The euro trade is still break even. It's kind of like annoying right now. Okay, let's see. What do we have in stock? AUVI? But that's liquid. No. AM. ET. ITRM. Hey, what is that? I don't really like it that much already. I mean, biggest move happened yesterday. Um, but I'm gonna look. Oh wait, somewhere else. Auto down. ACB. ACB running. Southern T. LUG is getting tight and tight and tight and tight. Okay. One is getting very, 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 very tight. One. How are we gonna take the other one? But that still works. Who's here's the gold. I'm actually thinking of short British pound now. I am actually thinking about British pound. Theme. Yeah, I want to see this. What is going to happen here? Let's see this one. It's going to be interesting. Here is gold going. 37. Hmm. Could have taken this, but anyway. Okay, we'll just pass on gold right now, at least for the time being, unless if we get any kind of pullback or another short-term rally. Especially that we're testing the 100-day moving average here, so we shall see. It did hold before twice, so let's see if it's going to hold here again. All right. But for now, the euro is working for us, so I have nothing to be worried about. Who's still holding the euro, though? Yeah, look at GME off the cliff. Okay, great. Let's see where it goes. Okay, great. Let's see what happens now. There's some pullback in gold also again, 1837, and US equities also kind of like trimming the loss. Let's see. We'll just stick to the euro trade for now. I guess it's time for us to change the stop loss on the euro to put it down all the way to today's high tops. If we want to, because again, like it's been 30 minutes since the beginning of the euro session. Excuse me. And nothing much is happening here, at least in nothing much is happening in currencies. Even gold back to 40 one more time. We'll give it we'll give it another 10. We'll give it another 10 minutes and then we'll see what we do. Tell me that you're not following that thing about silver, saying that it's going to go to $1,000. Yeah, well, I mean, I know for a fact like silver is going to be like higher medium term, but not 1,000. Don't think so. It's going to be 1,000. Yeah, here's gold at, I don't know, like if we should take gold around here, like 40. But nothing much really happening today anyway. Even the euro, I mean, and 5 pips. Yeah, that's kind of ridiculous. But anyway, let's try and wait for, I mean, it's already 7 here, so it's 30 minutes through the US session. And I don't see anything actually really moving so far. Minus gold, and that's it. Yeah, I guess that's it, guys. I mean, there's nothing really happening for real. Even gold is now back up to 1840. So, um, another slow day. Nothing much really happening, but at least we didn't lose money. So, I would just close the euro as it is, like 5 pips, and just leave it until tomorrow and see what happens from now until then. Otherwise, if you would like to do one thing, is just put your stop loss at break even though it's very near. If you want to do that, maybe we'll get lucky and just decline without getting our stop. So I guess that's it for today. Yeah, even gold. I don't even like the price action anyway. Yeah, just put your stop loss at the break even. Anything could happen. So, but I don't like the price action in FX right now. I mean, stocks there is a lot to do, but we'll see you guys maybe next week with another session. Thank you all for coming today, and at least we didn't lose, so we still win. So that's a good thing. So thank you all for coming, and hopefully that you found all that kind of informative at least. And see you all next week.